Welcome to the Looking Glass. My name is Mary Moses and I am an oracle. I do an ancient art technique called scrying. This is covering a piece of paper with charcoal and allowing spirit to show us truths in the form of symbolism, sacred geometry, numerology, and even body language or planetary alignments. Today we are reading for my good friend Stephanie, who just lost her dear mother. But if you're here, you're going to learn about cloning. You're going to learn a little bit about where we are individually and collectively when it comes to going through the photon belt or a giant star. We're going to talk about Dagon, the fish god, and BAAL, and how it is connected to the Catholic Church and what these gods actually represent instead of what we are told what they represent. I've been doing the Looking Glass for many years, and I'm starting to see a repetitive pattern with the god Enlil, Dagon, and BAAL, and how it is somehow connected to cloning. But let's not think the worst. The reason for the cloning seems to be to fix the heart, the soul, and the spirit. And so, let's talk about how we are warriors for our family lineage and how we are fighting to awaken and to go through the sacred marriage of flesh and spirit and doubling our soul and birthing our double or being born again in order to become powerful and become a gift and kind of become a real boy, like Pinocchio, finally getting a soul. Stephanie's mother, Josephine, showed up, who recently passed away, and we're going to talk about things that I'm not sure of. So we can all put some input and have maybe some idea from what we've learned in our past or from our intuition what Spirit and Josephine is telling us about the spirit world and our current reality that seems to be a manipulated reality. And there is wonderful news about this manipulated reality, and that is some of us have actually accessed the new sun within our hearts. And the old sun of Saturn is diminishing, and the new sun is much larger and is growing within our hearts and is causing many of us collectively to rise up and be more alive than we've ever been, more awoken and more powerful. It seems as though this piece speaks a lot about our genetics, our genes. Did you know that the word gene is in the first book of the Bible, which is Genesis? Gene, Isis. Gentile. We're going to talk about this word Dagon, dragon, and how it really has nothing to do with this ancient god that is on Wikipedia. It really has to do with genetic manipulation and cloning. The very first time I did a piece for a woman who aborted a child, she didn't tell me that she aborted the child, but the child's soul went to BAAL, which I didn't know anything about at that time. And BAAL is the son of Dagon, the fish god. And from the research that I've done, Spirit began showing me that BAAL and Dagon weren't what we are told they are. So we're going to really dig deep into this subject. And we're also going to bring balance and peace to all of these misunderstandings that we've had for a long time. So Stephanie, you are at 12 o'clock. You are seated in a yoga position. You have the earth on your third eye, and there is a photon belt above your head that shapes the number 8. There is a kundalini snake behind you. There is a green heart chakra as a crown above your head. Your dear mother is on a pillow as if you were taking care of her, and her heart has a beautiful butterfly on it. She is putting her thumb on a green heart as if she's putting her thumbprint there. Her tears are flowing down into her hand. You also have an emerald green heart that is opening up very, very large at your heart chakra. And then there is another U, like a clone, that says new with the letter S as a crown next to you, lifting your chin. And you and her share a similar heart. It's as if your mother, you, and a you that looks like a clone have the same heart. They say the heart is the first brain and is 5,000 more times more powerful than the brain, and that the heart is where the spirit is. So can a person share a spirit within 3 bodies? I've heard it's possible. So let's talk about some of the symbolisms within your piece. At 1 o'clock, there is a hat man. The hat man is connected to the jinn. The jinn were a smokeless vapor that were created before humans were created, and King Solomon controlled them. The jinn is in our genes for those who are Gentiles. Below the jinn is a weeping angel or nun. And this nun is crying, and the tears are going into the mouth of you or your mother. Below that is a dragon, and this dragon is being held, and on the face of the dragon are these triangles, 2 triangles actually, and there is a third eye that looks like a flying snitch from Harry Potter that I think is reflective of consciousness that can go inside anyone's mind, and how consciousness has the ability to travel and to participate in anyone's mind. Next to your mother's face is a syringe that I believe is reflecting the vaccine. And then you are pointing to a little boy around your stomach area, and he's walking and like waving hello. Your knee and your elbow and the snake is blocking the hat man, the nun, the tears, the dragon, and some symbols that seem very negative. Your foot is blocking the syringe from your mother, or trying to. Behind your double is, at 11 o'clock, a world that is hidden that we cannot see. We are separated or cut off from an unseen world. These triangles are called the dragon eye. It has the letter Y in the center. The triangle reflects a threat, and the center of the triangle reflects our choice to choose good or evil when we are in the center of a threat. So I know that your mother and you have not always had a good relationship, and her energy is a threat to you. And for some reason, it seemed meant to be that you participated within this triangle that was a threat, and you had the choice to choose good or evil, to be pushed good or to evil. The dragons are connected to snakes, and this is the snake behind your head. The dragons have always represented an unapproachable power, and this seems pretty legitimate. When it comes to your relationship with your mom, she was kind of unapproachable. Snakes are a primary influence on dragons, so most of a dragon's appearance is due to the reptile. But I don't think that this dragon is a literal dragon. It is an intelligence that thwarts the plans or goals of others. I think that the dragon is a metaphor. Now, Catholicism dresses like Dagon, the fish god. And Dagon sounds a lot like dragon. Dagon was the father of BAAL. BAAL is the god of child sacrifice. At least that's what they tell us. But the more I study gods and goddesses, this is supposed to be Dagon, the fish god, looking like a dragon as well. The more I study gods and goddesses, the more I see that they are descriptions of realms. Like Solomon is Sol, Oman, the sun and the moon, and Osiris is Oz, Iris, the goddess of the rainbow. And I found it so interesting that Dagon was also the name Enlil. And I have seen Enlil come forward in my pieces time and time again. And Enlil is somehow connected to cloning, taking our consciousness and bouncing it into another body. I did a reading for a girl who was in a car accident, and I saw her car accident and I saw that she died. And this character, Enlil, came forward and showed me where he said, I am Enlil, took her consciousness like a SIM card and bounced her consciousness into a parallel body like a clone. And I saw Area 51. And the girl said, you've got to be kidding me. I live right near Area 51. Dagon is who the Catholic Church is worshiping. Atlantis was destroyed because of the advanced technology they had. Yahweh destroyed them because of genetic manipulation. They were messing with our genes. So I don't think that we know all the answers, but I will say that the girl who died, but her consciousness was bounced into a clone, her life became better. Like she was in a higher realm after she was bounced, and she was no longer under the power of Enlil or Dagon. She was under the power of a tall angel. And I'm seeing this with you as well, Stephanie, where your mother was under Dagon, Dragon, the jinn, and you were a person who was born with the emerald spark from the emerald heart. And you were able to take the genes that were manipulated and grow yourself back into your original gene and form through frequency and through opening and awakening your heart chakra. So you were able to take something that pretty much damned the clones or damned humanity and were kind of like a savior to not only yourself but your mother. And your mother and you are very, very connected, very much like Hecate that we talked about in your original piece. When I saw your mother within your piece put her thumbprint on a heart, like making access to get into a room, and then you told me that your mother didn't have fingerprints, I was pretty surprised because they say that's one sign to know that you're a clone, is you don't have fingerprints. And does it really add 1 minute to our lives to believe that we are clones or not? I don't think so. I think what matters is that we continue to grow our soul toward life and power, and we continue to grow toward truth, and we begin to make ourselves stronger, which according to the symbology within your piece is what you have been doing and what you were sent here to do. So your mother was a threat to your soul, kind of like the reptilian wicked witch who pushed Dorothy to Emerald City, and this is how you got to your emerald heart and how you were able to allow the heart to dominate over a mind that was under some sort of program. So it seems that we don't die, we just bounce our consciousness from body to body, and somehow we maintain relationships with mothers, daughters, and people in our lives, and somehow one person becomes a savior for everyone, like the Harry Potter or the Dorothy Gale, or like Neo Anderson, of everyone, and changes the entire reality. And that's what it seems that you are doing. Now, being born again or having a double, which is what you seem to be portraying in your piece, is significant. And I'm not sure I quite understand the double or the born again self, because it seems to have some kind of connection to cloning. And I'm not sure if we could ever really truly prove this. But I did do a looking glass for Queen Elizabeth, and there was a labyrinth, like a maze, on her head. And the maze or the labyrinth was full of clones. And I know we've seen this in our media and our movies, where clones are put into some sort of very tough labyrinth or obstacle in order to complete and become saved, or the hero. Now, your mother says sorry because after she passed, all truth was known to her, and she sent you some numbers. One number was 232NZ. Thought that was really strange that she put an N and a Z next to the 232 until I looked it up. And 232NZ is 540, and it means Stephanie, Bride of King. That's interesting, isn't it? I encourage you to look up these numbers as well. 2338, Stephanie, Los Angeles, Eileen, San Francisco. Something she's saying there about your name. Something about your name and her name. 2338, don't you quit on me now. Meaning, keep doing what you're doing. You are on the right track. You are the Harry Potter. 883, Graves. I don't know what she means by this, but I think it has something to do with her being happy about her placement. 883, an agent of the Matrix. I believe she said that she was an agent of the Matrix for a long time. 883, health not up to par. Yes, her health was not up to par. It's not your fault. Gene of the Emerald City, 883. Emerald City meaning that you have a gene in your blood that accessed your heart, your green emerald heart, and opened, and since your mother and you and I don't know, maybe other people are connected by spirit because you opened the gate to Emerald City, hers opened as well. 883, religious cults. She's calling Catholicism maybe a religious cult because of the Hat Man and the gene manipulation, making people agents of the Matrix. 883, but she says there is meaning to all of this. That's good. That's good to know. 5350, I wish I could clear our history. It wasn't meant to be. We can all see that. I think what she's saying is the gene manipulation a long time ago was a mistake. 5350, there is a hexagon on the North Pole of Saturn that is processing energy stolen from the souls imprisoned in its matrix. Yeah. The most important person to forgive is yourself. Let other people be responsible for themselves. Absolutely. I got to tell myself that all the time. Every morning when I wake up, worry about myself, worry about myself, worry about myself. 2023, I love you, I really do. How could she not? You really helped her a lot, and I think she's very thankful. She wants to talk about a male boy, and this male boy is on your stomach. And I guess that she's aware of it, of him, in some way. How many emerald hearts do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 11, 11. 4. The fourth heart chakra. There seems to be something said about tears going into someone's mouth and tears falling into someone's hands. It reminds me of the phoenix that cried tears and healed Harry Potter from dying. Or when Professor Snape cried and his tears changed the world. But notice the eyes with the tears at 2 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, at 8 o'clock, and then at 9 o'clock the tears turn into light. A flashlight that shines through a spiral, which is a spell, which is the unraveling of a scroll or a soul, and opening the green heart chakra, and these tears were transformed into light. And this is a good thing, and good job. So in sacred geometry, your mother's pillow looks like a rectangle. Now look behind the person that looks like your double, and this is the rectangle shape. The pillow was turned into a portal of light. So the white tears, the white pillow, turned into a golden ray of light. And you have made the heart that was closed, not real, couldn't put your thumbprint on it because you're a clone, but you were able to take a heart and make it brand new, NEW, through facing your fears and awakening. But let's talk about tears, because I feel like it would be fun for you, Stephanie, to understand the magic of tears, and also for those who may be listening today. So if you feel embarrassed about crying, or you think that tears or crying too much might dehydrate you or are not beneficial, let's talk about how tears releases toxins from your body. So tears can help the body get rid of chemicals that raise cortisol, the stress hormone. They say if you actually drink your tears or lick your tears, it's a pain reducer. A good cry can also be a good way to kill bacteria. Tears contain a fluid called lysozyme, also found in human milk, semen, mucus, and saliva, that can kill 95% of all bacteria in just 5 to 10 minutes. Wow. Let's go make everybody cry and go lick their tears. We need tears now. Crying can help improve your vision. So if we're having a hard time seeing, it's a good thing to cry a little bit and lubricate the eyes and bring those toxins out and increase our vision. Improves your mood. Tears can elevate our mood better than any antidepressant available. I wonder if it matters whether you drink the tears or not. Crying relieves stress. It's as if your pain or your anger is within the tears and you get it outside of yourself, outside of your heart. It boosts communication. That one's silly, but maybe. So that your mother was drinking the tears of a nun is reflective of something that healed her but also hurt her. And in each symbol, the heart wasn't there. And so her head was being dominated. Notice her head is being completely covered. She was under mind control from the Hat Man and this nun and this Catholic energy. And it was a Dagon, the fish god, the dragon. And then we see her with her heart with a butterfly. And this butterfly is about two realities and being as light as a feather and healing our heart and releasing the pain and changing tears to light, like the flashlight at 9 o'clock. So really she's showing you that you and her have been on a journey spiritually, one and the same. And somehow you helped her. When she passed, her soul came out, you can see above her head, and there were not tears coming out of her eyes. It was light. Now, this light is also on your head, and this on your head is a photon belt. This is what the photon belt looks like. They say that we're going through this photon belt that's full of light. And I've done readings for people where I didn't see it as a photon belt. I saw it as a star so large, a sun or a star so large, an energy like a black hole, but it's not a black hole, it's a hole of light, so large that it's swallowing up our entire solar system. The 4 spirals of our solar system are being swallowed up, so that your mom's soul came out, and the spiral of our solar system is going into this ray of light. This is reflective that we are not going to have tears anymore. We are shifting paradigms. Things are just changing, and we're winning. Our heart is winning over our minds, and our minds are no longer controlled by narcissism and faulty genes, basically. So your double is wearing the golden crown of the golden age of Aquarius, pulling your chin up, saying chin up. Look at your head, your third eye. You have the earth there. We're bouncing from the earth to Emerald City, and it is going through this photon belt, this circle above that. And behind that photon belt is another emerald chakra with you, heart chakra, it's a heart, holding a golden ticket. A golden ticket to Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, a mansion of many rooms. It's a place of learning, it's a place of advancing, it's a place of becoming more than what we were. If we were a clone, whatever. We're becoming more now, and we have to continue our studies and continue growing ourselves and continue this forgiveness and letting go mindset, and also making sure that our emotional self is not infecting ourselves or other people, because your mother and many other people are connected to your heart chakra. So you have to be the mommy for all of them and maintain a center of 0 point, which means don't be polarized by emotions or belief or the pain of yesterday. Actually, don't even talk about yesterday ever again. You're not that person anymore. You've gone through a rebirth, and this is why you see your double standing there. I think you and I both should never talk about our past again. We should talk about our future self. How our future self is a queen that stands straight and commands respect and is the most loving and giving, joyful, childlike warrior that works for truth and life only. And that's all we need to think about. The person that we left behind, the pain of our past and our suffering is gone. We've already picked up that little girl and healed her. She's fine now. And so your mother is saying sorry. Sorry for what? Sorry she didn't believe you. Sorry she couldn't see you. Sorry that she didn't have the fingerprint to open that secret door, which was her heart chakra. But that her heart flew away like a butterfly because you helped. You blocked the dragon, the nun, and the hat man. You were like a rainbow light body that was like a shield. Like you're a shield. You shielded her from it all. And therefore you shielded yourself. So great job. You have the golden ticket now. So we see that the new heart is by your double. And your mother's left eye that was crying tears now has a left eye that is a shining light, shining through the spiral, the spell of this reality, and can see your heart, which before she could not. And she's also saying that you're already there with her. I don't know how it works. I don't know how time works. And that little boy is there as well in the doorway. So this is a very positive piece for you and for all of us, that we don't just save ourselves. We save many pieces of ourselves. We are all fragments of God. We are all mirrors of each other. Some people come to our lives as a threat, and it pushes us to do something amazing. And getting the golden ticket, we will live in a mansion and live forever. That is our reward for our good work and for having to suffer for so long. Stay in your yoga position, Stephanie, because meditating and stretching is really helpful for your lymph nodes and for your health. Consciousness can fly like a snitch from Harry Potter. So chin up, Stephanie. Your mother is very thankful for everything that you've done. Your mother says, I love you. I really do.